STM is clearly a company that has been beaten down as of late. However, that does not tell the full story. Over the last 5 years, it's down about 5%. But if we go to 2020, early 2020, about 5 years ago, it was at about 28. And then it peaked, at 52, things around there. So this is a company that had grown over the time frame and then has gone back down. So we can ask, okay, let's zoom out first before we ask any other questions. Since early 2015-ish, we're up from about 9. So this is a company that still, if you bought it a decade ago, right, just forgot about it, we're in a coma and woke up now, and you look to your portfolio, you'd be like, hey, STM's up 300% over the last decade or so. That is outperforming the S&P 500. That is good. And they're also in an industry in tech. Obviously, they do microelectronics, they do semiconductor related stuff, a lot in vehicles and things like that. So they're not in a terrible industry. They aren't cutting edge AI chips, but they're still in an industry that isn't terrible. It's not like, they're selling, I'm not even going to think of an example. It's going to be the dumbest one ever. But the point being, STM is a company that, despite the lows, is not a company that has proven that it can't do anything. It is a company that's proven it can grow. It can drive value. Now, are they going to keep doing that? Well, their PE ratio right now is 10.5, right? Forward PE, if we go down here, is about 15. So yeah, it's a company that is shrinking a little bit next year, but still forward P of 15. Let's just say we're at that. They don't outperform at all, which they probably should right around perform. They have shown that historical earnings, they usually about hit on the mark. You're still valued at a company relatively cheap. If you're looking at a normal stock and say, 15 PE, that's pretty cheap. So you're valued at a company that is expected to go sideways. At least in this market. Of course, if there's a recession, PE valuations go down. But in a market where the S&P 500 is at 30 PE, STM is valued at a company that is probably expected to stagnate. Maybe not contract, keep going down, but it's valued right now at a company that's expected to stagnate. So if this company picks it back on track, they start growing even like a normal company, you'll probably expect the PE to go up considering the field they're in, all that. If they start growing at the rate they were, they'll probably go up even more. And this is a company that has been valued higher. It has been valued above 50, double the valuation it has right now. So there is room to grow in that sense. And now let's dive, like I said, into what they do. They do semiconductor stuff. The semiconductor field, and people say this and it's a little bit complicated, but it is cyclical. That means there's ups and there's downs. There's points where people are buying a lot. There's points where people really aren't investing that much. And it's true now. Some of the NVIDIAs and the AMDs of the world have seemed to buck that trend a little bit in the sense that they've continued to drive consistent growth despite that. But I think Micron is a perfect example. Pull up, I'm not going to do that in this video, but if you're curious, look up Micron earnings like last 25 years, and you can literally see it's like a wave. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, but it's a consistent upward pattern. But there's ups and there's downs, and right now is a not very good time frame for STM. It just isn't. You can see it a little bit here, 2019, but consistently, you can even see it down, up, down, up, down, but consistently, if this is a company that's going to grow, there's going to be ups and there's downs in the semiconductor industry, but you want it to continue to go up. STM right now, we're hoping that it's more semiconductor related, and it is. ASML is having some of that too. You can see it. AMD's embedded is doing bad. You're getting the downturn of the market itself. This is natural. Now, there's two risks to that. If you buy in now and say, okay, STM's cheap, I'm going to hold it for a while, it'll recover. There's two risks. One is that, okay, maybe this is the very beginning of the cyclical nature of it, the downturn, you have to hold it for 2 years going flat, right? That is a risk. Another risk is maybe the company just isn't succeeding anymore. And then you're going to probably keep losing value, or at least it's going to stagnate with it while you could have it in something else that's doing better. I personally am looking to enter STM maybe in about a year and a bit. If they've flatlined and really not growing and really not shrinking, we're kind of in the middle of that, cyclical nature of semiconductors. Because if you wait too long, then it's going to just shoot right back up, because once everyone realizes, hey, they're going to get out of it, then it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going up, or you're going to miss the downturn of it. but I also don't want to hold my money in it for longer than I need to. And if I miss out, I don't really care too much. So that's my personal opinion. However, who knows? They could recover really fast. Maybe it's just one bad year, and the next year they guide really well, and you'll get that in a couple months. But I don't know. But STM, so Schwab rates it right in the middle. Decent rating, not terrible, not great. 5 stars, narrow, 3 stars, neutral, buy. Moderate stuff there. The dividend's increasing, but it's still really not crazy. 1.4, that's right around S&P 500 average. Take a look at their PE, forward PE, right around the same, maybe a little bit lower. They use slightly different valuation metrics, but it's nothing crazy. You're getting about 2/3 of people saying buy, which is actually pretty good. That's what you would expect for a growth stock. So you're right around average here. Maybe this isn't as cyclical as I think. Maybe the analysts know something I don't. But then again, they are projecting it to not grow either as well. So they're sure shrink a little bit. So maybe they know something I don't, but maybe they just think it's going to recover certainly within the next year or so. I don't know. But anyways, that's most of what I got for STM. I like it as a company. I think it's just outside of their control why sales are down, but we'll see. We'll continue to monitor this company over the next year and a half, see what happens with it. So I appreciate all of you for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. I do daily stock content on this channel. Thanks for watching.